morning, we have got Maria Felipe, author of Live Your Happy in Spanish and in English. She's basically saying how to get out of your own way and find the love within. How did she know that needed to be like my truth today?
Maria Felipe. She's an author of Live Your Happy. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks,
We're so excited.
Maria, for coming.
You guys are excited. I am excited. The energy here is like how we say in Spanish, candela. You guys are like on fire here. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It feels so good.
It
It's
sounds
very
so much
happy.
better in Spanish, doesn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful dress.
Thank you.
You know what I
So
read
pretty
is
on
that
you.
people said you were a champion without rival. How do you say that in Spanish?
Una campeona sin rival.
Woo!
Sounds sexy, right? The Spanish language.
It is so
The
sexy.
Spanish language is just more passionate, you know? It's like, you know?
I salsa dance, so I get the whole.
Yeah, she's a
I
big salsa
speak
dancer.
in a different language with the Spanish.
You guys actually have a lot in common, right? Because you're both reverends.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Both A Course in Miracle students.
Oh, wow. I
Right?
didn't-
We all sort of
Well,
into it.
I mean, I don't particularly haven't really. It's not my primary, but I do love Course in Miracles for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the Course in Miracles is it's just a beautiful teaching. It's a spiritual teaching. It's not religious. You know, it's basically a
Yeah.
self-study program of where you're able to really understand the way your mind works. You know, either love or
Right.
fear, Holy Spirit or ego, depending on the words you love.
Very
you know,
science
and-
of mind.
yeah, and you basically what you're, you know, cultivating in your mind and the voice that you're paying attention to is going to be your experience.
Right.
So if you're thinking, you know, if you're aligned to the thoughts of love, you're going to your perception, your effect is going to be more loving.
Now, Maria, I'd like to think that I'm aligned, but I can't choose the thoughts that come in my head. At least I haven't mastered how to do that.
Well, we can begin now.
Where do I start?
The time has come.
The time has come.
Well, basically, it's just a practice. I feel that the mind, the Course in Miracles says the mind is too okay with mind wandering. We have no consistency, no constancy. It's literally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and not the cereal, okay?
Yeah, my acupuncture tells me I have monkey brain. It's like it's all
Yes.
over. It's like a monkey in there. And it's like, well,
Well, it's not just, and it's not just you. It's just in this world. This world is a circus. I don't know. You guys know. You guys have been watching news. You guys were talking about news. It's like circus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
how do you find your
crazy.
happiness in that?
Yeah, and that goes back to the first question you just asked me in regards to how do you, you know, your mind, how do you work your mind? Is basically you are going to see how you feel. So if you start to feel a little bit uneasy, anxiety, you start to feel it here. You know how your heart kind of like goes like this. You stop yourself and you're like, what am I thinking? Okay, so I'm thinking that I'm not good enough. I'm thinking that I can't get this job. I'm thinking I'm not doing this good enough. And then you stop those thoughts. And then you choose
Stopping
again.
Those thoughts.
You stop it. You literally stop it because the ego is crazy in your mind. And this is not the ego that we've been taught in the world. The egoic mind is a part of your mind that is basically fearful and it looks outside for happiness. And it actually wants to sabotage. You think it's your friend, but it's really not your friend. It's
My
actually
frenemy.
It's actually out to
Frenemy.
kill your happiness. It's actually out to kill your happy.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
For the viewers out there that are looking in, they're saying, how did she do that? How did she, you know, you're going to be a mother soon.
Congratulations.
You brought a book. You've done all these things. You're a minister. You've done, you know, you've done all these things that people are going, why and how? What does she do? How did she do this? What's your personal story around it? How did
Yeah, how'd
you
you get here?
Get here?
Yeah, it's a great question. I feel because we all could identify with that. There's a chapter in my book that's called "You Are the Love of Your Life." A lot of people ask me, "How did you become the love of your life?" And I said, "It takes work." You know, I feel that, and I just get goosebumps just saying that. I feel that we want an easy fix. We want to be happy, but not really. You know, when I say not really, it means we don't really want to do the work. We don't want to feel our feelings. We want to sedate ourselves. We want to drink. We want to go out. We want to, you know, consume ourselves distractions and not feel our feelings. So how I got to be able to be where I'm at now, as many of us, I was a self-help desperation. You know, haven't we all been there? Just
I've been there.
desperate.
Self-help
And you read all these things. And then when I got offered to write this book, I said, this book is going to be different. This book is not going to speak to your intellect. It's going to speak to your heart. And it's going to call you in to live it. And what was going on with me is that I wasn't living what I was learning in these books. So I would be like, oh, I am loving, I am love, oh, kumbaya, all this stuff. Then during the week, I was a hot mess looking for my love outside of myself.
Story of my life.
So you have to have like consistency throughout the week or throughout your life from when the morning till you get up to at night, the second within the second, having discipline in your mind to choose love, to choose to see things differently.
Wow.
So what I did is that I stopped looking for my happiness and love outside of myself. I stopped making things outside define me. As an actress, I felt like that defined me. I felt like being in a relationship defined me, my role defined me, and I was like, no, that's wrong. Love defines me. The universe defines me, God defines me, whatever word resonates with you. And I began to recognize, and this took a lot, I began to forgive, even if I didn't want to. I began to take responsibility, even if I didn't want to, because I'm gonna feel better. And then I came to a point that I recognized that that constant pursuit of the carrot, that constant pursuit of that goal, that constant pursuit of that accolade or becoming, well known or whatever that was so elusive, and it was such a sad journey that I'm like, I'm done. I need to recognize I have everything and I lack nothing. Seriously,
Wow.
the course says your function is happiness. Happiness is your inheritance. It's what you are right now. So that's true. Happiness is our inheritance.
Love that. So
you.
how do you, how would you coach someone or encourage someone to experience that on the inside in their heart, the way you said, and not just in their mind? Because I know it's easy to repeat it in my mind and say, I don't lack anything.
Right.
But how do you tell someone to do that so it's from a heart-centered place where they experience it consistently? Is there anything that you would recommend?
Yes. Well, the Course of Miracles, all it takes is a little willingness, and miracles happen. And the first thing is to be willing. I say in my book, not little willingness, big willingness, because this is a hard job here. So I say just being willing to want to change. You just wanting to be willing to feel different is already going to create a shift. But it's when you're resisting that. It's when you really truly don't want to change, or you're scared. So I always tell people, if you want to be happy, you need to cultivate that willingness to be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with the suffering. I'm done with looking for happiness outside of myself. I'm done with the depression. I'm done of believing what the doctor says that I don't have good health. I'm done with all of this, and I want to start to see things differently. It's really a choice within.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Sick and tired.
No,
Yeah.
but it's really interesting because I could say I have big willingness, right? Not a little willing, like I'm seriously willing. I'm not sure if I trust myself.
Of course. Yeah, I get that. Because I was like that too. I was like, I felt that way too. It's like I wanted to change, but not really.
But I really want to. I just am like, oh.
Yeah, but there's always it's so unconscious. There's this unconscious and this sabotage with the ego of guilt that let's say I want to experience a romantic relationship, let's say, and I want to experience self-love, but behind the scenes you're not thinking those thoughts. Behind the scenes you're looking for somebody to complete you, so you're not in alignment. So you want to change, but not really, because you still want to stick to your old habits, and you still want to be cultivating your littleness, is what I like to say, your littleness.
That doesn't sound very good.
That's not very good.
Like, wait a minute.
She's like at 5, what are you, 5'10", 5'11"? She's like,
5'11".
at 5'11", I don't know anything about littleness.
Yeah, your littleness is like your fearful self. It's the egoic self as well. It's that part of you that's just very small and doesn't,
Right.
it's not expansive. But I totally understand what you're saying. I feel even my clients that I coach are like, they come and they're like, I want to change, Maria, I really want to change. And they'll like not do the work. I'll give them work to do during the week. They'll come back. They won't meditate. They won't do anything because we have no discipline. We want to change, but not really.
Right. All I have to say is that, okay, I know that your book is based on the Course in Miracles, and this has been such a profound book for me and for so many people in my life. And I know that, of course, Marianne Williamson has been
Talks about it.
Yeah. But I got to say that I would be much more likely to read your book.
It's
than
much more
this book.
succinct.
This is like way.
It's a tome.
So I'm just so like proud of you for putting this
thank you.
into something that is, it's reachable for people.
Yes, accessible.
So how did you, was it hard for you to write your book?
Well, no, I mean, it came from a space of a lot of excitement. I wanted to be able to get the Course in Miracles message out there and make it very practical, very easy, call you in to living. It's called Live Your Happy because it's really live a Course in Miracles, but it's really embody that happiness full time in your life. Even if stuff is hitting the fan outside. Like the whole point of the book is for you to be happy regardless of what's going on in form, regardless of what's going on in the world. And
She's
people
speaking
would
our
say,
language.
I know.
I know. That's why when I walked in
It's
here,
just
I was like,
incredible.
this is my family.
Right?
I mean, come on. I could have written this book on this couch, you know, with inspiration.
So if somebody out there that wants to write a book, they want to live their truth, they want to do Course in Miracles, they want to begin to embody this work, but they go, okay, I just want to write my own book. Like they're looking at you right now going, I want what she has.
Yes.
And I want to write a book, because so many people do. What would you recommend for them for writing a book?
Well, I mean, for me, it's the first thing is to let go of the attachment of wanting to write a book and making it matter. That's it. You know, I mean, I feel that a lot of us, we have all these goals and we want to write a book and we want to accomplish something. But as soon as you start to let go of it mattering or it defining you, like, oh, I want to do this, it's more like, let me give it over. Let me give it over to my true self. Let me give it, the Course in Miracles says, give it over to Holy Spirit and say, Holy Spirit, I give you this desire to write a book, but I don't know what's the highest and best for me. I want the will of love. You know, which is the will of God. I don't want my will, because what? My will always gets me into trouble, because I don't know what's the highest and best for me.
See, such a powerful point.
Give it over.
So, and we talked about this a little bit during the break, and I want you to speak to this a little bit in terms of when you do that, when you let go, you prioritize happiness and peace, and you prioritize love. Talk about some of the experiences that you've had where successes have just come to you, or things have unfolded organically and easily.
This is his
enjoyably.
entire
Yes,
filter.
it
in the
is.
flow.
Because it's so undervalued, and you have really powerful experiences sort
Yeah.
of demonstrating that, right? Even with the book.
Yeah, and I love that you said that. It is so undervalued. You know, I feel that in this society, it's backwards. We're taught like we need to struggle, we need to make things happen, we need to manipulate, we need to control. You know, we need to stick our hand in there, make it happen. I always say easy is normal. You know, we're taught that hard is normal, going and achieving is
that's a
like the
great
struggles.
mantra.
I say no, easy is normal. And how it is basically you start to cultivate trust. And I'm not saying the trust that the world has taught us, like, I trust you because you've been a good girl and you look like an angel, right? No, it's
So she does.
She clearly doesn't know me.
with this white dress, she looks very angelic. So you know what? I'm gonna trust her. You know. But basically, it's trusting your inner guidance. That the book and the Course in Miracles, basically, the point of these tools is to bring you back to your inner guidance. We have an inner guidance system, which is the Holy Spirit, that knows exactly what to say, what to do, how to be. It's just the cuckoo voice, which I say talks a lot of caca, which is, you know, is poo-poo, by the way.
New spiritual language around here.
You start to quiet that voice and you trust, and what happens is you start to get out of your own way and things come to you easily, such as the book. You know, I was telling him that it was basically a Facebook post. I had drank, you know, a glass of Pinot Noir, and I was a little giddy, and I wrote a really nice post that I thought could be in a book, and I put excerpt from my book. You know, agent reached out to me and he asked me about my book, and I told him, well, I didn't have a book, plus I have dyslexia. And
I had Pinot Noir, but I didn't have a book. Yeah.
So you asked me, how do people get a book deal? Pinot Noir. You know?
Yeah. Pinot Noir, dyslexia. It's mind blowing when you think about it.
We've ran out of time.
Oh my gosh.
And you're
That's
like,
many questions.
we could just go on and on,
Yes.
and we want you to be part of our family here, because you clearly are. We're one. Okay.
gosh.
You're working miracles.
We are
one.
miracles.
Yeah, it'd be great to get together and just
Right?
share more
So
about happiness.
How can people find you?
Right here on LaLaLand.
Omnipresent.
Universe.
Omnipresent.
Well, basically on Facebook, on my handles, you know, at Rev Maria Felipe, and I have a great YouTube channel called Maria Coconut TV, where I just give a lot of inspirational free videos on there. And my husband has created an amazing website, mariafelipe.org. That's
we love.
very
Shout out to
interactive.
all
Love
the great
him.
husbands.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Behind every great leader and woman, there's an amazing man.
There you go.
And there
That's
he is.
right.
So definitely check that out.
Okay,
So-
great.